And welcome everybody. Hope you've had a good week. Welcome to Bogota, Colombia, where we're kicking off our South America series. And we decided that the best way to kick it off is to kick it off here in Bogota, Colombia. The two mountains you see out there, the one on the left is Guadalupe, and the one I'm sorry. Lightning. We'll talk about the weather here in just a minute. Unfortunately, you cannot hear any of the weather when you're on the ground with the door open and nothing turned on in the aircraft we're about to fly. But anyway, the mountain on the left is Monserrate, and the mountain on the right is Guadalupe. Been there many times. Many times. If you've never been and you want to go to South America, Bogota should definitely be on your list. However, we're not going to be flying the Sovereign. We're going to be flying the Mighty X Citation X. And we're going to be kicking this off by flying to Quito, Ecuador. Bogota has an elevation of 8,300 feet above sea level, and Quito is even higher than that. So it makes for a tricky, little bit of a tricky takeoff. But because the air is so thin, the landing in Quito will be even more interesting. See that lightning and thunder? We're obviously going to be flying around that. And no, don't worry, the red and the yellow that you see on the FO's nav display, that is not the weather, that is the terrain. So just wanted to throw that out there. And today, again, is another one of those unusual days where we have to utilize runway 32 left. Unfortunately, because runway, if you use the reciprocal, which is runway 14 right, you can see the two mountains I just showed you from outside the aircraft very, very, very clearly, and it's a beautiful departure. But we'll try and do our best in keeping the turn to our first navigational fix, keeping it nice and tight to the airport so that you can see those mountains, and then we'll get underway navigationally speaking. Alright, the door is still open, so let's go back and fix that little bit of issue. A little bit of an issue, I should say. Oh, I got a full flight. Alright. That's good to know. Of course, I already know that by looking at the load sheet. And there we go. And we got it there. And the lever's back to where it needs to be. Good. Very, very good. Alright. I know it's not a single pilot certified aircraft, but it's actually for the sake of doing it in the simulator, it's pretty good with regard to single pilot operations. It's not difficult whatsoever. Not at all. Very, very easy aircraft to fly. Alright, let's look down here. Let's get a couple things on in case they're not already on. And see, both signs are on. And yes, we already pre-flighted the aircraft, just so in case you're wondering. Everything checks out. Alright, as you can see, we're running off the APU for our air as well as electricity. And since everything is checked out, let's see, is reading the MFD here. No, not the MFD. The ICAS. And shut down left and right. That is correct. Fuel static. EOS off. No takeoff, obviously. Parking brake is on. APU is on. Fuel boost is on left and right because they have the APU running, and the HP valve is open left and right. Very good. Departing today out of runway 14 at the left, V1 rotate V2. Those speeds will be populated into the PFD as soon as we get engines and technically the flaps set. And the flaps on this flight are going to be flaps 15 because of the elevation, and takeoff roll in this aircraft is usually pretty impressive. But at 8,300 feet above sea level, it'll be a little longer than usual. And we don't have that much fuel in the aircraft either. Fuel state is 5,000. So keeping it as light as possible, and with a footload of passengers, that makes a little bit of a difference, but really not much. I've tried both empty and full with regard to passengers, and I really didn't notice that much of a difference. We will be coming back to Bogota later in the tour of South America because there's a couple of cities in Colombia that you just gotta see from a slower perspective. Yeah, not a fast one. So everything is good. Let's get the right engine up and running. Rotation looking good. Introduce. There we almost had it. There it goes. There's the fuel. Huh. That's the first time that's ever happened. Try it again. There we go. There's the light on. There is the light off. I usually wait for the engines to get up there a little bit, and then I introduce fuel. But interesting. All right. Well, the left engine fuel is already up and running, so let's see if that's the issue. Yeah. Might be a little bug that and just a second, everybody. My dog is looking at me like there's an imminent threat. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. Habu is his name. Do you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? No? Don't want to say hi? Say hi, everybody. Welcome to Fly Adventures. No? Don't want to do that? Oh, you didn't like the noise of the hydraulics. Oh, is that it? Yeah, that was it. Nice owie. Nice owie. For those of you that don't watch this channel, he is a wonderful little black lab. And he turns tomorrow, as a matter of fact, he turns 10 months old. 10 months old tomorrow. Anyway, and he's a real sweet little companion at heart. He really is. He's a sweetheart, aren't you? Yeah, you are. All right, he's laying down underneath me. So, all right, back to flying. All right. It should be a beautiful evening departure, and it should be good. All right, let's get flaps set to 15. And we gotta get our takeoff trim dialed in, and that's just the noise of the when you run the trim down. I should say when you lay on the button for trim. That is what you get. That noise is simply telling you that the trim is moving. A lot of trim is moving, I should say. Alright, now you can see you've got, since the flaps are set, our V speeds are there. V1 is at 123, rotate 126, V2 at 130. The only thing is, how long will it take for us to reach 123? That's a big question. And I can tell you that it'll take just a little while longer, but it'll be interesting. Alright. Lights, everybody's on that needs to be, with the exception of our taxi light. And we're good to go. Parking brake is way back here in between the two seats. Way back here. And for some odd reason, a tug with nobody there is there. Alright. One last thing, I double check the temperature. 21 Celsius in the cockpit, as well as in the cabin. Oh, it's 23. That's a little on the warm side. Alright. And we need to turn on our pitot heat and our windshield heat. Now we're good to go. Transponder is TARA. It's good. Alright. Let's roll. And Bogota in the evening is a beautiful city to look at. I have been there many times. If you watch the previous video, you'll learn a little bit more as to why I have been there so many times. Alright. On our way out, we'll do our flight control check here. Ailerons look good. Elevators, both good. Hey, wherever you came from. Alright. And the rudder left. And the rudder all the way to the right. Good. As soon as we get on the primary taxiway, we'll test the reverse buckets. See that? It's a beautiful city at night. Mount Guadalupe and well, if you speak American, you could call it Montserrat, but in Colombia it's pronounced Montserrat. And you can see them if you look at the lights that are coming up and out of the city along the side of that mountain. That's you'll see there's a dip. The mountain on the left side of the dip, so to speak, or I guess you could say it's a mountain pass That is the one on the left is Montserrat, Monserrate, and the one on the right is Guadalupe. Here comes another vehicle, and that's why I have collisions turned off in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, is because of that issue right there. So alright. Just turning around to make sure that my puppy is safe and sound. Trying to take a nap. Alright. Go this way, that way. And don't worry, we're not flying on a VAT sim, and I have all air traffic turned off. And that is because I've only flown this aircraft maybe 3 times, 4 times. And the reason why we have this aircraft is because of our Patreon members. So they will have watched this video before everybody else. They also see me program the flight computer and do a lot of other things, explain the aircraft itself, the history of the aircraft, and things of that nature. So those are the benefits that they get by being a Patreon member. The Patreon website for this aircraft, I'm sorry, for this aircraft, the Patreon website for the channel is listed in the description below. If you like what you see, please give us a like and also subscribe. The channel, it is growing. It grows by about 1 or 2 subscribers every week now, so the growth rate has slowed down a bit, but hey, something that we do that is part-time, very, very much part-time. And we try to be as realistic as we can in all of our procedures, and we think that 118 subscribers is not that bad. And recording stuff along with audio and video editing, that is all brand new to us. So 118 subscribers isn't bad, and the good news is, since I'm the one that does the flying and all the technical aspects of the channel, we're going to be doing more of it. And, oh, sorry, we're going to check out the reverse. See if the reverse is deploy. Very good. Alright. Tail floodlights on. And strobes. And landing lights. And we'll turn on the weather radar as well. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Weather radar is on. Let's go. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the takeoff roll is going to be a little longer than normal, and again, that has to do with the elevation of the airport. All right, let's punch it. one here in just a moment. And rotate. There we go. It wants to move once you get it off the ground. And the airspeed, though, pretty accurate. It doesn't want to move. Gear up. Pause right gear up. Alright. 133, 130. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I promise you a good view of those mountains. Let's go do that right now, and then we will resume navigation. We can do that because we're not on bat soon. So we're gonna break away from procedure just a little bit. And also, if you're a Patreon member, you get to hear all of the some of you call it the boring boring stuff, like going over every checklist and the takeoff briefing and all that. So with these videos for the masses on YouTube, we try to keep each video down to 1 hour. I mean, 1 hour and between 60 and 90 minutes is what we go for. Anyway, there's Bogota, where my maternal grandfather is from. That's actually not the reason I used to go there so much, but when I am there, I know my way around. There's Dorado Avenue, the city of gold, El Dorado, and there is Guadalupe, Montserrat. Let's fly a little closer, and then we'll do a 180 and get back on course. Okay, flaps up to 5. It does a very good job of simulating a very slow flight, to say the least. Because the engines are cranking, and APU off here. Alright. There they are. There's Montserrat. There's Guadalupe. If you look at the top of the left one, you'll see some flickering lights. That is a church, along with a couple of other buildings and some really beautiful walkways with orchids and all kinds of things happening. Hummingbirds like you've never seen before. Beautiful place to be. Alright, there it is. And, alright, let's get back on, let's get on track here. Alright. As I said, beautiful, beautiful place to be. Alright. Up over to Quito, Ecuador. Like I said, it's roughly 1,000 feet above Bogota, so it's even higher. And so, when you go there in real life, when you get off the aircraft, walk slow. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like you're gonna feel like you just ran a marathon. So, walk slow. Alright. Let's get those flaps all the way up. And then we'll bring the slats in here momentarily. Alright. Go ahead and bring the climb Go ahead and begin the climb. And let's go ahead and expand the range on the navigation display out a bit. Alright, that's where we need to go. We need to go to direct we can get a shortcut. That would be awesome. Let's do number one. Let's put the throttle back to climb mode. Get those slants up. There we go. Let's go direct to SKBO 54. No. BO 527. Let's go to BO 527. Let's do that. There we go. Let's do that. Let's go to right that. That'll help us get underway a lot quicker. And I told you, in roughly a 90-minute flight, this might make it a little less than that. And don't worry, once we get up to flight level 390, I'll be turning the recording off, and then we'll pick up the recording as we're going into Quito. Alright, let's go ahead and BS, nav, autopilot on. Okay, it doesn't like that. Let's bring it. Let's do that again. So that does it from our current position. And did not do that, did it? Alright, we're gonna have to do this now. Bring the altitude, the heading back around. Go heading mode here for just a little bit. I could be flying it easily, but I'm trying to also look out the left window to see if there's anything else unique to look at. Alright. I see what it what it did. It, instead of giving me direct BO527, it went ahead and did direct BO552. That's all right. We can do that. BO552 direct. Let's see if we can just get that direct. LNAV is now good. We've captured the actual flight plan. Very good. Let's make sure we got everybody else is good to go. 20,000. We're already above that. In real life, they would have you climbing above that, so I have no problem already being higher than that. They want you, if you're going out of the country and you're not going to, let's say, Medellin, up to Medellin, or down to Cali, which is only like a half an hour, then you do want to hit those restrictions right on the money. However, going out of country, they want you up to your assigned filed cruising altitude as quickly as you possibly can, because Bogota can be a very busy airport. Very, very busy. Oh, let's do our set altimeter to standard. Of course, down here, everything is done in millibars. So 1013 is what we want. And landing lights. Landing lights off. And turbine sync, even though I don't think it is simulated in this aircraft, I want to say it's not simulated at all. We'll go ahead and turn that on just to say we did. Okay, 2,500 feet a minute. It's not bad. Let's, so we can get this thing moving along. Let's go ahead and push it to takeoff thrust. See if that gives us any assistance at all. No, it doesn't. Alright, that line power. There we are. Let's see what things look like as we're now flying over Usaken and Zipaquirá, which is where you can go to eat baked potatoes that they cook in the ground. They literally bury the potato in the ground, and the salt content is so high, it literally bakes the potato over the course of like 5 or 6 hours. And there's also a mine that you can walk down into. Pretty cool. Alright, the town of Zipaquirá is right there. So, I'm sorry, I said Usaken before. Usaken is on the other side of Bogota. It's a very, very beautiful residential area with some corporations being headquartered there as well. But anyway, yeah, that's Zipaquirá with the famous salt mine. And if you go to Bogota, you gotta go to the salt mine. It is really, really cool. It is. It's pretty amazing what they've done. And we are pressurizing. Don't worry, I've been keeping an eye on that. We are pressurizing just fine. Alright, we're not gaining any speed now. We're slowly losing it. So, yeah, we're almost at 39,000 anyway. We can go ahead and drop the nose down to 1,800 per minute. 1,800 feet per minute. Let's see here. All right. Nothing coming up on the radar with regard to weather. Settling in at flight level 390 fairly soon, and then we're gonna crank it up to Mach 0.92. And no, we're not utilizing the auto throttle. We're going old school because old school is simply more fun than the opposite of old school. Than the opposite of that. At least that is for me anyway, it's a fun thing to do, controlling it manually. And since it's been cloudy all day, I took a quick little flight up here some hours ago, and the cloud layer below us was totally, it was a complete blanket, and you couldn't see anything during the daytime. I figured, well, maybe at night, maybe the weather will be a little more forgiving, but it just looks like the clouds. I mean, that's a little better, but the clouds are going to be with us, I believe, for the whole flight. So that is unfortunate, because the views, I mean the mountains from Bogota all the way down to Quito, it's just it's an amazing view. I turn the weather off, but I don't want to jeopardize. Something that would affect the aircraft, that would then affect the recording of the video. So we'll just leave it like this. And hey, it's aviation. Everything is always changing. The one thing I don't buy is the aircraft speeding up as fast as it is. Because we weren't climbing. When we finished climbing, it didn't really accelerate all that much, but now all of a sudden it is on a tear. Let's bring those engines into the cruise. Into the cruise regime of the throttle quadrant here. So going through 0.86, 87, 88. As I said, we could leave it at 0.91 Mach number, but we're going to go ahead and push it to 0.92 if we can. It all depends on when that red bar begins. Here's 8. I mean, we're already beating 95% of it. Every aircraft on the planet, every non-fighter jet aircraft at the moment. The newer Gulfstreams, yeah, I know they can go 0.95. The new G500, G600, they can both do Mach 0.95 as a official cruise. As the new Falcon 8X, I think it can also do that. So Citation 10 is not the fastest. It hasn't been the fastest in a good while, but 0.9 Mach, I mean, pretty good to me. Pretty good to me. And I can already tell people are going to want to see this video in the daytime. In the daytime, I don't blame them. But like I said, we had total cloud cover. It was a solid blanket. And daytime or nighttime, when there's cloud cover like that, you can't see anything. So okay, we've been in the air now for 20 minutes. It's not bad. Not bad at all. We should be making a contrail. Let's see if we are. Yep. Contrailing very nicely. Very, very nicely. Alright, 0.91 Mach. 0.915. Alright, we have reached cruise altitude as well as cruising speed, and I don't see any more significant breaks in the clouds as to where we are. Alright. I think what we're gonna do is this change of mind. Let's end the video here. We'll post it. You're obviously gonna be able to watch them talking as if this is a live stream. We'll do the rest of it tomorrow if I can, or a day after. It'll be in the daylight. And at least you'll be able to see, because that's the purpose of this whole tour of South America, is showing off a continent that a lot of people have forgotten. And we simply want to show it off. And I've been to just about every country down there many times, and it's just too cool of a continent to ignore. And well, I shouldn't say. Well, number one, it is ignored. I mean, I don't see hardly any flights on YouTube with regard to South America. But secondly, you want to really, really be able to appreciate the scenery, and at night you just can't do that. There's snow down there. That's a bit of a fluke with the weather engine, because I can assure you Colombia only has one mountain that is high enough to generate serious snow, and there is a ski resort on that mountain, and those mountains are not it. So anyway, let's end here. We've already been recording for what, 40 some odd minutes. How long do I have this? 44 minutes already. So with that in mind, we'll pick this up again. We'll pick it up tomorrow or day after in the daytime, as we're getting close to our top of descent of going into Quito. And there are some serious mountains in Ecuador, so and you should be able to see them very nicely. So let's do that, and we'll see everybody. We'll see everybody at that time. All right, and we hope you enjoy this portion of the video, and try and get something do something a little more special tomorrow, because this really is a unique, very, very unique, very unique stretch of Latin America. It's just It's too nice to see Nazi during that time. So we will see you at that point, and we hope you enjoy this portion of the flight. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Frequency change approved. Take care.